The San Antonio Spurs are back in playoff basketball, and for the first time in years, the energy surrounding this franchise feels real again. The city is alive. The fans believe once more, and now all eyes are locked on one of the most important games this young team has faced in the modern era. Game 2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves is not just another playoff game. It feels like a test of identity. It feels like the beginning of something much bigger for the Spurs. For years, the Spurs were one of the greatest organizations in professional sports. Championship banners, legendary players, and a culture built around discipline and winning turned San Antonio into one of the most respected franchises in NBA history. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Greg Popovich created a dynasty that dominated basketball for nearly 2 decades. But eventually, every dynasty comes to an end. The Spurs slowly faded out of playoff conversations. Seasons became frustrating. The roster changed constantly. Fans watched other teams compete for championships while San Antonio entered a long rebuilding process. For many people, it felt strange seeing the Spurs outside the spotlight for so long. But then everything changed the moment Victor Wembanyama arrived. The entire direction of the franchise transformed overnight. Suddenly there was excitement again. Suddenly there was hope again. Suddenly the Spurs were no longer thinking about rebuilding for the future. They started thinking about winning right now. And now that excitement has led directly into playoff basketball. The Spurs entered this postseason with one of the best records in the Western Conference. Their offense became more dangerous every month. Their defense improved dramatically. Young players developed confidence. Most importantly, Victor Wembanyama looked like a player capable of becoming the next face of the NBA. Every night, he delivered moments that felt impossible. One possession, he was blocking shots at the rim. The next possession, he was hitting deep three-pointers. Then suddenly he was dribbling through defenders like a guard despite standing over 7 feet tall. Fans around the league started realizing they were watching a completely unique basketball player. But regular season basketball and playoff basketball are 2 completely different worlds. And the Minnesota Timberwolves made that very clear in Game 1. The Timberwolves entered this series ready for war. They brought physicality, intensity, pressure, and defensive aggression from the opening tip. Every possession looked difficult for San Antonio. Every shot felt contested. Minnesota forced the young Spurs into uncomfortable situations and showed exactly why playoff experience matters so much. Now the pressure shifts into Game 2, because this is the moment where playoff series can completely change. If Minnesota wins again, they take full control of the series. Confidence grows. Momentum grows. Pressure grows on the Spurs. But if San Antonio responds with a huge performance, suddenly the series changes entirely. That is why Game 2 feels so important. My channel, subscribe, share, and licks.